Hi, so I'm going to attempt to open the backing of this Asus TP301U laptop. And you'll notice there's actually 10 screws here. And they are just normal Phillips head screws. So let me zoom in here. As you can see there, they are just normal Phillips screws. And so what I am going to do is the equipment that I have is just a normal screw. I'm going to try to change out the SSD drive, which is my purpose of all of this. And I have various cards because I know these are going to be snap-in. They're just not going to be removable, so I could stick it just like a guitar pick. And if I need various thicknesses, I'll combine them, and I'll try to sort of slide it through and have the snap-ins come out. So first things first is I'm just gonna unscrew everything. And what you want to do is these screws might be different lengths, so you don't necessarily want to just throw them in a bucket. You want to order them in a particular way that you took them out. So I should have started at the corner. And so this screw here is of a certain length. So make sure you don't just throw it in a bucket, or if in this video I show that they're basically all the same lengths, then that won't be an issue. But you know, just remember to keep that in mind, to have it in a particular order initially. So these are just screws that come out, and I am hoping, so that screw was the same length. And it would be pretty awesome if I can actually upgrade this from 256 SSD to a 1 terabyte SSD that I got on Black Friday for $200. So I've arranged these screws exactly the way I took them out on the floor here. And so far, they've all been the same length. Now just 4 more screws to go out of the 10. And actually, these front ones are the shorter ones. So you'll notice the difference between the lengths. That the front ones are a lot shorter. And this is another short one here. Another short one. So far so good. And there's a big strong magnet at the front. Grab these out, and they are Okay, now for the moment of truth, where I will try to pry out the backing here. And you do want to use plastic because you don't want to damage any of this stuff with metal. So I want to choose an opening that is exposed. And unfortunately, lots of these things are sealed pretty good. I'm just hoping. Alright. So it's a little bit more difficult for me simply because I am trying to do this on film. You see this front here. See, this is a little bit too thick. I need something that's a lot thinner. But you'll see, so this one's starting to work. And there you go. It's as simple as that, which is awesome, because I was actually able to do it easily on the first take, and now just want to make sure it doesn't close up on me again while I get the thicker ones. You'll see here. That's all I'm doing, and what I'm going to do is just use this and slide it all the way across. So I'm simply sliding this all the way across now. And this here, same thing. Sliding this all the way across. And I just want to put that there for now. Maybe I could just lift the whole thing up. So it seems like I could just lift the whole thing up at this point. And let me show you the ridges. So you'll notice if I go around here, you'll notice where the ridges are, so you could at least plan for this when you're doing it yourself. So keep in mind, this is the front of the laptop, as indicated by the vents. It's the front of the laptop, going around, showing you where that is. And you'll see a lot of these. And this is the hinges, the back of the laptop. Just want to give you a clear picture here of how all this works. And of course, once you get to this point, you're really golden. This is the hardest part about it. And so let me set this aside. And you could see, as I set this aside, now I just want to take the camera out and give you a closer look here at where these components are. So that's the hard drive. So you notice that's the battery there, obviously, at the top. Just want to show you in detail how all this stuff is arranged. So the hard drive has a cover, but you'll see there's just one screw here and another screw behind this, and also another screw here. So you take out those 3 screws and the hard drive can be lifted out, and then you can replace it with, you know, this is my SSD. That's the Wi-Fi card, and there's the memory behind this, which needs to be lifted with clips. And I'll see if I could actually get that off. Just want to give you a clearer view of this. This is an 8 gig, so I don't think the memory is upgradable. But if it was, you get a good view of it here. So let me go ahead and actually try to get to those pieces in real time here with my basic tools. Okay, so let me go ahead and try to do that. Let me switch the camera over to this side so I can zoom in. So the trickiest screw is this one. And once again, this is slightly harder for me simply because I am, so actually let me push this SATA cable out, or let me just, maybe I'll take the screw out first. Set this aside. Those are the 3 screws. Now I believe, yep, so all I have to do is lift this up now. And you could see there's the hard drive screws on the side here. But what I want to do, and you have to be very careful because there's wires here. So let me show you that. So to the side here, so this is the hard drive, and you'll see to the side here there's some wires along the casing. So that's something you want to be very careful of. And they are taped together. So probably the easiest thing for me to do is just to unscrew the hard drive screws in place without taking those wires out, and swapping out the hard drive like that. So let me demonstrate that. So let me take this off first. So I'm just sliding that out, sliding this out. It's half out. So now this is the SATA cables disconnected. You'll see that's the hard drive tray. And Let me do the easy stuff first, removing this. Of course, it's harder for me once again because I'm trying to give you good camera angles, so I'm sneaking a peek at the LCD in the back of the camera while I'm doing this, just to make sure I'm not blocking anything. At the same time, I don't want to drop the screw into the laptop and, you know, into some crevice in the laptop, and then it's hard to retrieve. So I'm trying to be mindful of all of that stuff while doing this. While for you, you just have to open it up and, you know, do your business. And once again, for this, I'm gonna try to unscrew this. So this is the tougher screw. I'm gonna go for this one first. I'm gonna go for that first. So I got that screw out. I'm gonna get this screw out. I suppose if the other alternative is just for you to examine these wires a little bit more and sort of unhook them, which might be what I have to end up doing, but all in all, the hard part is already done, so it has to be slid out from the front. So this part, now that I've unhooked that, I'm just trying to slide out this hard drive. It looks like it's, so it's hard to tell, but this stuff is raised, so it looks like whatever this sticky piece is here, I will have to end up peeling that off. So let me mess around with that. So it's not all that difficult. It's just hard to do it while doing it on film also. So as you can see, what I'm doing here is it's actually stuck on. So this entire piece here is stuck on, but it's also raised. So if I just peel that off, I could probably get to it. It's a matter of just how much effort so this thing is just a piece of tape. And once again, it's a little bit tougher for me to do this on film in real time, but I should, otherwise I'd be a little bit more patient here. As you can see, now I'm just, you know, unsticking these wires. And now this is a little bit more easily accessible. I could take out the whole drive. So there's just other wires here. So now I have this whole drive out, and you could see the hooks to put in the wires. And it was just a matter of taking out this tape here. And once I have that out, this is basically, you'll see there's this raised part that blocks me from taking out the hard drive that is taped in. So I have to actually take this tape out and lift the hard drive out. It's a little bit of a pain You see what I'm doing here? So there you go. You see that? And it's the same with this piece of tape at the back here. And again, it's just sticky tape that they're using. And once you do that, oh, so there's another sticky here. And once you do that, you see you just lift it up and the hard drive just comes out, and I could fit the other hard drive in. So let's compare the sizes of these. Luckily, they are the same size. Actually, mine's is a little bit thinner. So, or actually, do this. You'll see this is a little bit thinner. But obviously, the SSDs, they're sort of the same size. And you'll see that's the SSD that comes with it. And I will be putting in this 1 terabyte. And that's really the process. Let me show that here by fitting this in. So keep in mind, this one came out like this, so I'm going to be putting it in like that. And of course, I have to load some software in here, so I'm not going to do that right away. But you could see that is how you do it. Now, I do want to give you a close-up of the memory part, even though I'm not doing the memory. You know, at least it'll give you an idea. So what people normally do with this memory encasement is that there are, it's hard to see here, but there are things sticking out, and people use needle nose pliers or pliers just on those ends, and they pull it out. And I think you could see that one right there. See that case sticking out? There's one here, and there's actually one in every corner. And so you just pull that up, and it actually just rests, as you can see here. You see those things are fitting snug in those areas. So that's what people normally do, which is actually rather standard in a lot of these small laptops. And it's the same for this side, but this side there's a lot better lighting, so you can kind of see those things sticking out that I am talking about here. Yeah, so from the top view, you can see right there in that corner, and also there in that corner. And these are the clips that are holding it. So behind this is the memory. So unfortunately, I don't actually have needle nose pliers, so I have two little flatheads, and I'm just going to try to lift that up. And again, this wasn't my purpose here, so I don't want to... Okay, so you see that's all that was needed, is just using a flathead and simply lifting it up from that corner there. And you'll see there's tape here, so you can't really completely take that out, nor would you want to. As you can see now, that is the memory. and it is actually just right there. And let me get a close-up for you again. And you could see what I'm talking about here in terms of the case here. So all I did was put my flathead underneath that, and I lifted it up. So that is just, you know, lifting it up like that. And you can see that that's just a normal memory module that you see here. And all the spots are filled. It's whether I could replace this with an 8 gig or not. So, but that's really it. That's all there is to at least the upgradable pieces. And you know, while I have that up, let me give a close-up of at least all of the components and areas here. That are exposed. Again, that's the SATA cable, and I have the hard drive here. And let me give you a view from here. And this is the hard drive that I shall be using. And that's really it. I hope this helped, and thank you for watching.